Welcome once again. I, Dr. Harpal, going to present Piaget's theory, cognitive development in children. Who was Jean Piaget? Actually, he was a Swiss psychologist who is very well known for his work on child development. He worked on the cognitive development of children, and he laid great importance on the education of the children. His lifespan was 1896 to 1980. Here, main four keywords are in this philosophy of Piaget: cognition, schema, assimilation, and accommodation. So we have to understand all the keywords very well. What is cognition? Cognition is the process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thinking, experiencing, and by using our sense organs. So, when we use our sense organs and we experience different type of experiences, and then we think about those experiences and we try to understand the whole world, and of course from those experiences and from all the knowledge which we acquired by understanding the world, this is called the cognition. So cognition is the mental process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses. Cognitive processes use existing knowledge. Existing knowledge means the knowledge which we have already have, preconceived notions, preconceived ideas about something. And when with the passage of time we go on acquiring different type of new experiences, of course new knowledge will be generated. This was the main theory of the Piaget. He considered that cognition development is done by the children automatically when they interact with others, when they uh, use their senses and they try to acquire the knowledge. So, what is cognition? Cognition is the process when the wheels of thinking are in motion. Of course, when we go on thinking about something, then when we perceiving something, when we trying to know about something, and then we start thinking logically with the reasoning. Why is this happening? So we can say thinking is cognition is thinking process when thinking process is in motion. Cognition is the intellectual process through which we try to acquire the information. We obtain information with our senses, with our thinking skills. We try to obtain information, and of course, according to our needs, we try to transform that information. Which information? That is stored in our brain. So we want to use the information whenever we need to use that information. So we can say cognition's basic unit is concept. Definition of cognition again. Actually, information is obtained, transformed, stored, retrieved, used. How we obtain information? We perceive information. Perception depends on mainly two things, two activities, uh, on our vision and on our auditory skills. So we perceive things with our sense organs, ears and eyes. Then we try to memorize the information, and we start thinking about that. Of course, we need language to understand about the whole information and knowledge around us. So this is the main, these are the main words which are included in cognition. So what does Piaget say? Cognitive development describes how these mental processes develop from birth until adulthood. Actually, Piaget has given four main stages from birth till adulthood. Those stages we will discuss after this slide. So, the acquisition of the ability to think, reason, and problem solve. When the children gain ability to think. Of course, when child takes birth, from the very day of his or her birth, the child go on thinking. They try to, after some time, their reasoning ability develops, and of course, after some time, they try to solve the problems. So, thinking ability, reasoning ability, problem solving ability, these are acquired by the children. It is the process by which people's thinking changes across the lifespan. Of course, when people will have different type of experiences, uh, they will try to think about differently from their own point of views. Of course, their lifespan uh, will change. Of course, their thinking will change automatically. Cognitive development is gradual, orderly changes by which mental process become more complex and sophisticated. So, cognitive development ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਅਲੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਕੰਪਲੈਕਸ ਹੋਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਸੋਫਿਸਟੀਕੇਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਈ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਗਨੀਟਿਵ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਪਲੇਸ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਅਗਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਵਰਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿ ਕੋਗਨੀਟਿਵ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਮੇਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਵਾਇਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਐਂਸਿਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਸੈਂਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸੈਂਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਐਂਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ ਐਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਐਂਗਲਸ ਤੋਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਸਪੈਨ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਚਾਈਲਡ your priorities may be different, but when you become a parent then your priorities will be different. So जो साडा लाइफ स्पैन जिवें जिवें चेंज होंदा रहिंदा वा people's thinking also change automatically. What are the main assumptions of Piaget about children? He says children construct their own knowledge in response to their experiences. According to Piaget, which type of experiences the children do in their lives, of course, they try to construct their own knowledge. So that's why all the children have different experiences in their life. That's why all the children have different type of knowledge as they have different type of experiences ਜਿਵੇਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਜਰਬੇ ਨੇ ਉਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਉਹ ਕੰਸਟਰਕਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ that is also different. Children learn many things on their own without the intervention of older children or adults. It is said that children try to learn automatically whether their parents make them to learn things or not. So ਬੱਚੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ ਐਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਦੇ ਟਰਾਈ ਟੂ ਲਰਨ ਆਲ ਦ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਔਨ in their own ways. Children are intrinsically motivated to learn and do not need rewards from adults to motivate learning. ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਗੇ ਕਿ we have to provide some type of external motivation to our children, but when they are children and of course here during this stage they are very much motivated and of course without demanding any type of rewards they go on learning ਔਰ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ they don't get exhausted ਔਰ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੇ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਿਵ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ they want to learn all the things by themselves. Here is given Piaget's theory of cognitive development. Look, these are the stages and this is the cognitive process. So according to Piaget, cognitive development depends on the stages, which are 4 stages. These are the 4 stages: sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational stage. And cognitive process, which are the main words, which are the stages included in this: schema, assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration. Now we will go through all this flow chart in detail. Actually, all the philosophy of Piaget theory depends on all these 8 words. Stages 4 and cognitive process 4 words. Then stages. Stages are four: sensory motor, 0 to 2 years, pre-operational 2 to 7 years, concrete operational 7 to 12, and formal operation 12 years onwards. We will discuss later on. Then which are the main key concepts? Schema. First is schema. Schema means uh, preconceived ideas in one's mind. Like जो छोटा बच्चा है वो ਉਸਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਉਸਦੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਉਸਦਾ ਉਹ ਫੀਡ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਦਰ ਦੀ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਨੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਸਟੇਜ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਟਰਾਈ ਹੈ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਮੂੰਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰੀ ਕਨਸੀਵਡ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਹੈ ਉਸਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਸਨੇ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਦਰ ਦੀ ਆਪਦੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਜੋ ਮਦਰ ਤੋਂ ਫੀਡ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਉਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਸਦਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੀ ब्रेन हाले डेवलप है और schema है schema is an internal representation of the word when we go on thinking about the word internally. Look, here is the example given. uh, Christmas. Suppose when we discuss about Christmas, someone will think that Christmas, ਜਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਮਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਕੂਲਰ ਪਰਸਨ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਆਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਮਸ ਟਰੀਜ਼ ਹੋਣਗੇ, ਸੈਂਟਾ ਕਲੌਸ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਮਨੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ, green, red, gold, winter, Santa Claus means these are the words which are related to Christmas. So, ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਵਰਡਸ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਟ ਸਮਵਨ ਵਿਲ ਹੈਵ entirely different schema ਜਿਵੇਂ Jesus, birth, church, holiday, Christianity. So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਗੇ ਕਿ we have different type of experiences in life. That's why our schema is also different. So if I think in a different way, in a particular way, I don't expect that others will think in a similar way. Maybe they are thinking differently. So here is given example of assimilation. Assimilation means it is using an existing schema. Existing schema means the child, the learner fits the new idea into what he already knows. During this phase, in assimilation, the schema is not changed. It is only modified. Completely, we don't change, but it is only modified. Look here, when a child sees a person who is not having hair on his head and long frizzy hair on the sides, of course, maybe the child can shout, the toddler, smaller one, child, he can shout, clown, clown, clown. So maybe he has assumed his schema is, assimilation is that he has seen somewhere clown in TV and he thinks that this person is also clown. Why? Because he is not having hair on his head. Now, what is accommodation? Accommodation means here we alter the schema. A new schema will develop. Accommodate. Suppose in the clown instant, when the father listened that the child, the toddler is shouting clown, 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 so maybe the father will try to explain to his son that the man is not a clown even though his hair was like a clown's, but he is not doing any silly things to make people laugh and he is not wearing a funny costume. So, here, with the help of his father, with the explanation of his father, the child has understood that clown has not only characteristic of his hair, but any person who makes people laugh and a funny costume is also a characteristic of clown. So here the new schema is developed and this is the phase of accommodation. Here I have taken a very simple example. Here is a child. Child calls her four-legged pet. The pet is in the home of a girl child and the girl calls her pet doggy. Suppose she sees a cow and this is a four-legged animal, but the girl has never seen before the cow. What will he? What will she think in her mind? Maybe she will take this cow as a doggy. She will start shouting, "Doggy, doggy!" But this is assimilation. Assimilation means that the girl, when she sees a cow for the first time, she will assimilate it to her schema of doggy. Her schema of doggy means she has preconceived notion that any four-legged animal is called doggy. But here, the mother tells that no, baby, she is not a doggy. It is not a doggy, it is a cow. So, here, the mother has given her information that this is cow. She is, it is larger than doggy, and all four-legged animals are not doggies. So now you will see this is the phase of assimilation and this is the phase of accommodation where the girl child has understood that all four-legged animals cannot be called doggies. So this is the accommodation. Now what is equilibration? Equilibration, Piaget believed that cognitive development did not progress at a steady rate. It will develop in leaps and bounds. So equilibrium means that when a child's schema can deal with most new information through assimilation. ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨਵੀਂ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਉਹ he or she will try to accommodate that knowledge जो भी उसकी progress होएगी. So it is important to maintain a balance between applying previous knowledge assimilation, and changing behavior to account for new knowledge accommodation. So there will be a proper balance between assimilation and accommodation. That's why we can say that this is the phase of equilibrium where the child learns to use his or her previous knowledge to account to acquire the new knowledge. Here are given the stages of Piaget. So number one is sensory motor stage. Sensory motor stage is Piaget's first stage of theory of child development. It starts with zero, means when the infant takes birth, and it lasts through age 2. This is the phase of thumb sucking, kicking, smiling, cooing. And during this period, infants will learn about the word. They will hear. This is the phase where the child uses his senses and motor skills. So the infant tries to use his or her senses to interact with surroundings. They like to touch things, lick things, bang them together. Simple games will be enjoyed by the children during this stage. They turn and look when they hear something, or they try to recognize certain words and respond to them. They say a few words or imitate others. So ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰਿਫਲੈਕਸਿਸ ਦੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਾ ਅੰਗੂਠਾ ਚੁੰਗਦਾ ਹੈ. ਅੰਗੂਠਾ ਚੁੰਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਦਰ ਦੇ ਨਿਪਲ ਵਾਲੀ ਫੀਲਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਥੰਬ ਸਕਿੰਗ ਚੋਂ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਕ ਕਰਨਾ, ਸਮਾਈਲ ਕਰਨਾ, ਪੂਇੰਗ, ਔਰ ਜਸਟ ਇਹ ਡਿਊਰਿੰਗ ਫਸਟ ਮੰਥ ਆਫ ਬਰਥ ਆਫ ਦ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਇਹ ਫੇਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸੈਂਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਔਰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੱਚ ਕਰਨਾ, ਮੂੰਹ 'ਚ ਪਾਉਣਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਰੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਾਰਨਾ, ਖੇਲਣਾ, ਜਿੱਧਰ ਜਿੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਓਗੇ, ਜਿੱਧਰ ਜਿੱਧਰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੱਚਾ ਉੱਧਰ ਉੱਧਰ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਿਰ ਮੋੜਦਾ ਹੈ. So this is the stage where the child tries to learn, imitate others. 4 to 8 months ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਕਸੀਡੈਂਟਲੀ ਮੇਬੀ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਔਰ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਆਇਆ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕਿ then the child will try to continue those activities again and again. So during this phase the little one will begin to use objects to learn about the world. Here, objects are the main concern. Objects, things are the main concern. Children use their personal experience to develop their own knowledge about the world. Different type of experiences will be faced by different children, of course. Their personal experiences will be different, और बच्चे ने जेडे भी अपने भी personal experiences के according ही word में देखेंगे. और children ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ they are internally motivated to learn few things. So they learn and they understand and respond to simple directions or questions. You give them some directions, bring me that glass, open the door, shut the window, and they will try to obey your commands. And of course they will try to listen short stories if you go on telling them some short stories. And of course they will try to repeat words or actions from previous days. Suppose a child has learned how to say mum, papa, and of course the child will try to repeat those words again and again. Daily they will try to learn new words and then go on repeating those words, will be their regular routine. Object permanence during this phase, this is the main term, object permanence. uh, in the starting months, the child is not conscious of object permanence. Means ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲੁਕੋ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਉਸਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਮੀਨਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਪਿੱਲੋ ਦੇ ਨੀਚੇ ਰੱਖਤੀ, ਤਾਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ that thing was existing or not. ਸੋ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਸਨੂੰ object permanence ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ knowledge ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ. But after some time, you will see that the children become aware of object permanence. I have chosen this picture. Here you are seeing that the mother is showing rattle to child. And now she has concealed, she has hidden the rattle under a cloth, under a bed sheet, or under a mat. And here you will see that the child is not trying to find out rattle because he thinks that rattle is no more. But after object permanence, after some months, the child becomes aware of things. They think things are existing if they are not in the sight of the children. Here, the mother is showing the rattle, and here she has hidden. And look, here the child is trying to find out the rattle. So we can say the child becomes aware that things exist whether they are out of sight of the children. Object permanence also involves the knowledge that parents still exist when they temporarily leave the room. So when the children understand that you will come again after some time, they become aware that their parents are always in home. They will return to their home. So this is the phase of object permanence. Look here, object permanence, realizing that objects in environment exist whether the baby perceives them or not. Out of sight, out of mind. Out of sight, out of mind means ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਖਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੀ, ਬਟ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ ਪਰਮਾਨੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼, ਉਹ ਜੋ ਥਿੰਗ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਐਗਜ਼ਿਸਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਫਾਈਂਡ ਆਊਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ. Pre operational stage. Second stage is pre operational stage. It is 2 to 7 years operational stage. You see that this is the stage of logic. Here the students start thinking logically about something. And it is 2 to 7 years. During this stage, the child begins to develop ability to represent objects with images and words. So the children can draw some figures, they can imagine some things, and they can write down some words with, like your children can make birthday cards for you. They can invite you for the birthday party. So They can make their birthday invitations too, and they can make birthday wishes for you too. And of course, language skills are developed during this phase, and here their imagination power becomes very strong. So children imitate others. They during this period 2 to 7, they play different type of games. They play with their toys as they are real ones. Suppose a child has a car, and look at the child. The child tries to open the windows of the car, and of course, he and she enjoys the car very well. And of course, during this phase, the girls can make dolls, and they can think that these dolls are real fun. So pre-operational stages here, the children learn to simple sums, simple addition, but they cannot make concepts very clear. For them, all men are daddy, all women are mummy, and all toys are theirs. So during this phase, you have seen so many children that if you ask during this phase, okay, whom do you marry? Then the child will try to give the answer. The girl will try to give the answer that she will marry her father, and of course, if you ask a boy, the boy will prefer his mom. So we can say here the children are uh, not very clear about the concepts. So during this stage, they have object permanence. They know that all things exist while they are not in their sight. Here, they use language to represent objects, means they use words to express their feelings. And egocentric. Egocentric means okay, here during this phase, the children are very egocentric. They don't think about others. They don't try to see words from through anyone's eyes. But if they want something, they want something. They will never try to understand the feelings of others. So here the children do not understand concepts of conservation too. Pre-operational stage 2 to 7 years. During this stage, the children start thinking logically, but their logic is rudimentary, or we can say they can do simple sums of arithmetic. Here are two stages: pre-conceptual and intuitive. Pre-conceptual means 2 to 4 years. Here during this stage, symbolic activity will dominate the children. Symbolic activity means okay, according to children, uh, they can become mummy and daddy, and they will try to imitate as the mother speaks, as the father speaks, and of course they can make their toys to sleep, and of course they think that they are the real ones. So ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਉਹ symbolic ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਫੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਹੋਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇੰਟੂਟਿਵ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ during this stage, children base their knowledge on what they feel or sense to be true. They cannot explain the underlying principle. ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ feel ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਹ sense ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, according to them, only those things are true. ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿਸ ਰਿਹਾ, means here during this phase, they cannot understand the feelings of others. They only prefer to the feelings of themselves. So here are the key features: egocentrism, animism, centration. Egocentrism means okay, here they cannot see the world through anyone's else eye. Egocentric child assumes that other people also see, hear and feel exactly they feel. ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਨੂੰ ਉਵੇਂ ਹੀ ਫੀਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। Animism means ਇੱਥੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਵਨਸ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਡਾਲਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਜ਼ਿਊਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਦੇ ਆਰ ਰੀਅਲ ਵਨਸ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਰੈਸਅਪ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਿਲਾਉਣਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਉਣਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹਿਲਾਉਣਾ, ਇਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਐਨੀਮਿਜ਼ਮ 'ਚ ਨੇ। ਸੈਂਟਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਟੈਂਡੈਂਸੀ ਹੈ ਟੂ ਫੋਕਸ ਔਨ ਓਨਲੀ ਵਨ ਐਸਪੈਕਟ ਆਫ ਅ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ, ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਔਰ ਆਬਜੈਕਟ। ਇੱਥੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਬ੍ਰੌਡ ਮਾਈਂਡਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ, ਦੇਖੋ ਸੈਂਟਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ, ਸਪੋਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਾਸ ਕੇਕ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਯੂ want to divide this cake in two parts. So maybe one part you have cut, that is bigger one, and another is smaller one. But you have cut the pieces of the smaller cake in 5 pieces. So you will see that the child during the stage will try to pick more pieces of cake regardless of the size of the pieces। ਚਾਹੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਸ ਉਹਦੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੀ ਕਰਤੇ ਪਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ of course the children during the stage will pick that plate in which the pieces of cake are more in the plate। Symbols in artwork, here look at this। ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੈਂਟਲ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਲੋਕ ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਰਾਇੰਗ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਮਮ, ਇਹ ਡੈਡ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਿਕਚਰਸ ਬਣਾਉਣੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਫੀਲਿੰਗਸ ਦੇ ਟਰਾਈ ਟੂ create with the help of images। So pre-operational children's increasing ability to use mental representation। Mental representation means ਜਿਵੇਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ assume ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, they will try to create things according to their mental representation। Pretend play, ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹ ਇਮੈਜੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਖੇਲਦੇ ਆ, ਔਰ ਰੀਅਲ ਸੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਰਲਸ ਨੇ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਖੇਲਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਡਿਟੋ ਉਹੀ ਡਾਇਲੌਗਸ, ਉਹੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਖੇਲਣਾ, ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਣਨਾ, ਮਤਲਬ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਟੈਂਡ ਲਾਈਕ ਦ ਰੀਅਲ ਪੀਪਲ। Then we can say here the example is given that they can use banana as a telephone, and artificialism means here they don't believe in the reality of things। Actually they think that we can use a ladder to reach the sky, the clouds are blue, and of course blue color is painted by someone। So according to children during this stage, that all things are manufactured by people, they don't understand the philosophical ideas behind all the realities। Irreversibility means here here the children don't have ability to reverse their thinking। Means they can do 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, but maybe they cannot understand that 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 because they don't know how to reverse the thinking। Stage third is concrete operational stage. This stage starts with 7 years and up to 12 years। During this stage, the children begin to develop ability to sort things। Here, they have learned the art of sorting objects because their logic has developed, and they can classify all the objects very well। And here the children can learn the conservation, means here they understood the conservation। So concrete operational stage ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ here the child knows that something that he can add, he can also subtract, or she can trace a route to school and then follow it back home, or picture where she has left a toy with the haphazard exploration of the entire house। So here the child can understand all things very concretely. During this stage, the child can do mathematical operations well. Operations are labeled concrete because they apply only to those objects that are physically present. Here, children learn to conserve such quantities as number, substance, area, weight, and volume, though they may not achieve all concepts at the same time. ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਨਸੈਪਟ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰੇਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਬਟ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਨਸੈਪਟਸ ਦੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਮਝ ਆਵੇ ਸੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਮਝ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਬੱਚਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਭਾਂਡੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਛੋਟੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪਈ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਭਾਂਡਾ ਪਿਕ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਰ ਇਸ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ so conservation understanding that something stays the same in quantity even though its appearances change here the children can understand during this phase that if the water is same volume of water is poured in two different type of shapes of containers so the children can learn that the level of water is same here they will not get confused so classification here the children can learn to classify things means ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ word ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆਏਗਾ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਪਿਕ ਦ odd ones ਅਸੀਂ classification ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ problems categories they are very well aware of the classification seriation ਇੱਥੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਈਟ weight ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਹ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਕੰਕਰੀਟ ਡਿਵੈਲਪਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ that is developed very well last one is formal operational stage it is 12 plus years here the abstract reasoning takes place here according to Jean Piaget the children start thinking how reality compares to ideas now the children have some ideals in their mind they have formed their own philosophy and of course they choose different choices and they know very well about the consequences of their choices too and here they can understand their ideas and of course the reasoning of others too and here during this phase when the child is 12 plus they can debate on matters of justice meaning of life human nature so here you cannot make fool of any children here their own philosophy their own understanding level has been developed so during this phase, the child is able to manipulate the word in their own mind. During this stage, different type of questions come in their mind, or we can say different type of characteristics are of formal operational stage. What would the word look like with no light here? Look, we start thinking differently they try to imagine which type of uh, God is. Means ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹ God ਨੂੰ picturize ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. What way do you best learn? Here the children learns to understand the whole world with his own mind. So abstract reasoning develop ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ or manipulate objects in our minds without seeing them even ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ then ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ things ਨੂੰ objects ਨੂੰ manipulate ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ hypothesis testing ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ assume ਕੀਤਾ then we try to test those things trial and error we try first of all and then of course we can commit different type of errors during our trials and then we can try to amend those activities. So during this phase, the children do trial and error. Metacognition means here the children learn about their way of thinking. They think how they think. So this is the metacognition, means here the children's uh, thinking level has developed, or we can say every adult do not reach to this stage. So maybe the some of us do not enter in formal operational stage. So this is the formal operational stage. Characteristics of formal operational thought: adolescents think more abstractly than children. ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅਲਜਬਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ, ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਐਬਸਟਰੈਕਟ ਵੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰਨਾ। ਆਈਡੀਅਲਿਸਟਿਕ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ, ਪੂਰੀ ਵਰਲਡ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ। ਸੋ what can be possible here during this stage the children can think. The children during this stage may be logical. They think like scientists. They devise plans to solve their problems systematically. They try to test the solutions. Of course, they try to understand all the things logically. So I have taken the help of some slide shares. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood the topic very well. If you have any type of queries, then you can contact me in group. Thank you.